Hello everyone, let's do a nice problem from Pathfinder from Kinematics. You should definitely try this question on your own before you move on to the solution. So we are given that from a town, cars start at regular intervals of 30 seconds and run towards another town with constant speed of 60 kilometers per hour. Okay, at some point of time, all the cars simultaneously have to reduce their speed to 40 kilometers per hour due to bad weather. What will be the time interval between arrivals of the cars at the second town during the bad weather? Right, so let's draw a diagram. It's best to draw a diagram and so that we can think more clearly. तो ये straight line है जिस पे towns A and B हैं और the cars are traveling in the at constant speed, right? So this is a snapshot just before. So this is a snapshot of the situation just before the bad weather begins, right? So suppose there are 4 cars that are traveling between A and B currently. So the distance between A and B is not given to us. हमें given ही नहीं है. So we can assume any number of cars and it does not matter. The answer will not change. So suppose 4 cars are in the process of going from A to B at this point, right? And so this is, in fact, this picture is for just after the bad weather has started, right? So I will explain all that I have written on the board. So this is the car 1, car 2, car 3, car 4, and the distance between any 2 consecutive cars is S0, right? And what is this S0? Ki cars are traveling at 60 kilometers per hour, which is 50 by 3 meters per second, right? So they have the time gap at which they left from A was 30 seconds, right? So what is the distance while they are traveling? They are obviously traveling with the same speed, so the separation between them remains a constant. फिर से बोलता हूँ इसको कि because उनकी सबकी velocity same है और सबकी velocity constant है, तो the distance between any 2 consecutive cars remains constant because they are traveling with the same speed, right? तो उनके बीच का separation कैसे आएगा कि एक कार निकली यहाँ से and by the time the next car left, it was 30 seconds later. So the distance traveled by the first car in the 30 seconds will be the separation between these 2 cars, right? And that is S0. So the speed at which the first car was traveling times 30 seconds. कि जब तक second car निकली तब तक पहली car इतना distance आगे जा चुकी थी. So that was 500 meters. So that is the distance between any 2 consecutive cars while they are going from A to B. Now bad weather suddenly begins, right? So all these cars are now traveling with a speed V, which is 40 kilometers per hour, which is 100 by 9 meters per second. तो सबकी speed V हो गई, right? तो अब simple है कि car 1 कब arrive करेगी? Let's take this distance as x, कि car 1 का distance कितना है B से. So it arrives at x by V. The second car arrives at x plus S0 by V. तो इस सेकंड कार का डिस्टेंस x plus S0 है, and so on, x plus 2 S0 by V, x plus 3 S0 by V, and so on, right? Until the nth car, if there are n cars in motion currently, then the nth car arrives at x plus n S0 by V, right? So this is only for all the cars which were already traveling when the bad weather began. After the bad weather began, new cars will begin traveling from here, and the time gap at which they arrive at B will still be 30 seconds. But the time gap at which the cars which were already traveling, the time gap between the arrival of these cars, जो मैंने cars बनाई हैं, they are already traveling when the bad weather begins. उनके बीच का time gap कैसे निकालेंगे? कि first one x by v naught, second one x plus s by s0 by v naught, by v, sorry, x by v, x plus S0 by V, x plus 2 S0 by V, and so on. So the time gap between any 2 consecutive cars over here is S0 by V, right? And which comes out to be 45 seconds, right? So इसको एक overall इसका concept भी समझ सकते हैं कि the distance between any 2 cars that are already traveling was decided by the time gap at which they left, but also by the speed at which they were traveling, which was 50 by 3 meters per second. Now, the time gap at which they arrive at B will also be decided by the velocity that they are now traveling with. So because the velocity has reduced, the time gap will increase.